The so-called white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. And the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Yep. And you know, it's what's so killing about it. Our people work in these places like that, and we are so submissive to the so-called white man as slaves. We're conditioned to be. We're conditioned is to be slaves for the so-called white man. Our people have been conditioned. Matter of fact, our people, so-called Hispanics, blacks, and Hispanics and Native Americans, are conditioned. We are conditioned is to hate each other, just like the so-called are worse than the so-called white man hate us. Even though the white man is the worst enemy on the planet, we have been trained to be the worst enemy too, as well. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. Does that mean I put my people under the bus? No, because does it mean that it bothers me? Uh, yeah, it does because it involves. If you think that we're not in slavery, there are many examples to prove that. Number one, the way I'm speaking now proves that. Now, some people will try to come along and say, you were enslaved because of your thinking. Why don't you not feed into it? That's what they'll tell you. Feed into it. That's their justification. And you know, so-called black people, we're going to talk like they're going to say that. Why don't you just think of something positive and do good? And if you serving God like you claim you is, you won't be enslaved. But the first and the most, get out there and go get you a job and stop getting on your camera complaining about so-called white. That's what they'll tell me. Or they'll say things like that. But little do they realize they just cut themselves in trying to justify the enemy. First of all, you told me is to go and get me a job and work for who? You didn't say, okay, at the end of the day, you still got to go work for the same people that you that I'm persuading you saying that you complained about, but you're telling me it's to still go and work for the same people. That's my whole point. You still got to go and work for another nation. We still got to go and work for another nation to get what we want. Just like Bill Cosby. Was Bill Cosby wealthy? Was he wealthy? Yeah. Was he wealthy? Guess what? When all them so-called white women came up and so-called Uncle Tom black women came up and they went to lying on him and stuff, they Uncle Tom being a slave for the white man. Uh, when they came forth, what happened to him? He did 3 years in prison for some bullshit. How in the hell? Think about that. How in the hell Mr. Cosby going and this wasn't don't come here trying to debate me talking about oh that was back years ago. That was you talking about 1945. No the fuck it ain't. We in the damn 2000 and this man did 3 fucking years over some bullshit. Because they want to put it's naturally in a so-called white man and white woman spirit is to confine you into a prison. That's their natural instinct. Why do you think at night or in the day, anytime really, not just at night, when you passing by, you walking, the first thing you see a so-called white woman, a white man, they hear them jump in their car, and you ain't doing a fucking thing, but just sitting by, just passing by on the streets, not doing anything. You know what they scared of? They scared that they know that their ancestors did our people so bad. They feel like, or they thinking in their mind, even though you're innocent and you're gonna give it to God and let God deal with it, they thinking that somehow you going to do something to them because they know, oh, I'm scared, their ancestors. That's what it is. And think about it. If you're at your motherfucking stop sign right there and they see a so-called black male, now you'll stop and be like, oh, I'm going to let them go. They'll act like they'll stop and they'll sit right there. They'll go back. They'll stop right there as far as to this line right there. And you're saying, are you thinking that they're being kind? No, they're not being fucking kind at all. You know what the fuck they doing? They scared and they're gonna stand this and back and say pass on by. That's what they're doing. Because they scared of the so-called they scared they always have been naturally scared of us. You see what I'm saying? They always have been naturally scared because think about it. They know that we're more dominant. They know that they know this and they know that their ancestors enslaved our ancestors and put them in slavery and did all these different things, all these evil demonic atrocities to our people. and everything. Oh, the battery is low. I'm gonna have to turn this off. All right, let me turn this off. I'm gonna see y'all later. I'm gonna have to talk about this some more when I get home. I'll see y'all later. I'm out.